Good evening and welcome to TVOSJ, the voice of San Joaquin. Now it is time for Behind the Art Scene.
Hi, this is Joy Neas, and today I'm with Dietrich Britt, and he's an artist living in Stockton, and he has a lot of different projects, and we're going to talk a little bit about how he got started and what you're doing. So glad to have you on.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
So how long have you lived in Stockton?
I've been in Stockton now for about 4 years.
And you came from Richmond, right?
Yeah, Richmond, California, with a pit stop in Vallejo. So yeah.
So that's where I'm from. I was born in Richmond and lived there until I got married, and then we traveled all around and finally came to Stockton, coming on 26 years now. So
I think Stockton's a beautiful city. I mean, like a lot of other cities, I think that, it gets a bad rap for whatever, but there's a lot of light that need to be shined, in areas where, people are doing good.
Sure.
It could uplift the community. So, yeah.
So how did you get started in the art scene when you first came to Stockton? What was your first art exhibit or what?
Just due diligence. I really did my homework. When I moved here from Vallejo, Stockton, because one, I have relatives here, and then two, I figured this is a great place, to settle in. I've been here or been coming to Stockton back and forth since the 90s, visiting people and so forth. And I just feel like as an intersection or in between to a lot of art areas I want to, go do shows and so forth, I think Stockton would be the perfect place for me. And so far, following my intuition, everything's been going good. Not too far from Los Angeles, I did the Chalk Walk, in Reno, and then Sacramento, and still going back to the Bay Area and home, it's working out. So, yeah, it's cool. I look at it.
And you showed some things over at the Mexican Heritage Center?
Yes. I was in an exhibit for misogyny.
Uh-huh.
And I think it ran for like almost a month.
Right.
And I had 2 or 3 pieces there. One was division, and it depicts, how we're separated, either by design or because we want to be. And then this one here. This one here, in her thickness,
Uh-huh.
and I think that for me, being raised by my mother, by herself, is just kind of like, I feel like I'm obligated to give so much back, and dedicate some more artwork to women.
So that's how you got interested in doing that show, or?
Yes, definitely.
And then you did a show with Bryant Mills.
Yes, working with Mr. Bill Mills was a good thing. We have contact each other, and we need to get back in contact with each other because I know he's always doing things,
Right.
and I want to continue to work with him.
So how did you find him?
Through Alicia. Thank you, Alicia, wherever you are.
So Alicia Vanderboer?
Yeah, Alicia.
And actually, that's how I found you. For some reason, I was looking at posts, and I said, "Who is this guy? I don't know this guy." Oh, okay. And then I heard that you were doing the Reno Chalk Festival. I said, I got to meet this guy. So.
Yeah, Alicia has been very helpful with transitioning and doing art here. I've done shows in the Bay Area, but Alicia has been pointing me out and like, hey, over here, hey, over there. So shout out to Alicia. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. So did you meet her at the Mexican Heritage Center?
Yes, I did. I met her at the Mexican Heritage Center, and we spoke, and I know that her and her husband has the, was it SMART or something like that, where they help kids deal with robotics and stuff like that. So they're doing big things in the community, and I want to be part of doing big things for the community because, the children, like they say, are the future.
Yeah.
But, sometimes they're misunderstood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I met Alicia. I think it was two years ago, and we were taking a little workshop together. I've never seen anyone take more workshops in my life. She's just here and there and everywhere, and she just graduated from Delta College.
Yes, yes.
And now she's going to Stanislaus.
Yes. I saw a post on Facebook about her. Sent out congratulations to her. She's deserving of it. Wherever her future goes, I think and ends. I think she deserved it because she really do a lot.
Yeah. So why don't we talk a little bit about the Chalk Festival up in Reno? How did you find out about that?
Let me see. I don't know. I was doing my research. I was looking on a lot of different websites looking for events, and I've been working really hard through 2019. And I was just like, you know what? Let's get out of the state. A lot of people say Reno is not a state, but still point being, it was out of state. And so I seen the Chalk Walk. I was like,
And that was the first time you've done chalk?
That was my first time.
That is amazing. I started doing chalk when I came to Stockton, so I've done it probably about 25 years now, and it's just wonderful that what did you think of the medium? Do you like doing chalk?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do another event. I'm almost certain I'm going to do 2020. I'm going to put that on my calendar, make room for that for next year. But it was definitely a challenge,
Right.
Because I had to, not step on my work because it's smudge, erase, and so forth. I was not prepared for the fingerprint remover from smudging, but it was fun. It was definitely a workout. It was almost like intense yoga or something. So it was definitely an experience that I wouldn't forget. I like messing with a lot of mediums, and that was one that was challenging, and I liked it.
So did you bring a picture? I didn't.
I did. I didn't even take too many pictures of the event because I was too busy, trying to just really dive into the artwork in itself and try to make sure I put out the image so people understand it. And then, at first I went there taking it really serious, and then I ended up meeting a little guy named Silas. His mom and dad was visiting someone next to me who was doing a piece. And Silas just came over to me. "Excuse me, mister, can I help you?" It just stabbed me in my heart. I was like, oh. So then I was just like, you know what? It can't be that serious.
Yeah.
It's art.
Right.
We're supposed to be enjoyed. We're supposed to be able to share our talents. We're supposed to share our gifts. Like, come on, little man.
So how old was he?
Silas was probably 7 to 8 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
And, I gave him some lines. I'm like, can you do this? He was like, yeah, I could do it. I let him do a demonstration. He was doing the lines pretty good. I was like, okay, cool. So I gave him some more black chalk. He started working on my outlines.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like after dealing with that situation and meeting him, it's like that's what I was that's what I was supposed to be there for. Mm-hmm. The mother, she told me that, he had ADHD or something, and this is as still and calm as they've ever seen him in a long time. And I'm like, what? That's what I was here for. I guess this what the event was for me. To come here and meet this little dude, almost assist the parents per se, and helping him find something that he could focus into. So if art is it, and I had something to do with a small piece, then hey, I'm grateful for that.
That's really good. I don't know. I was just I love chalk, and it's one of my favorite things to do. But that weekend, it's like everything that could go wrong, it went wrong.
Yeah.
But I was doing my piece. It was so personal. It was for my cousin, in memory of my cousin who had died.
Okay.
And I put so much. I think I really overthought it. and instead of just having fun with it. So I ended up making it almost like into a cartoon with 6 different panels of things that we had done together. So it was like my memories of her. And
Oh, wow.
so I got it done, but it was a real big challenge for me. I think I'd like to go back and maybe they have so many interesting categories like the color
Yes.
or 3D
Yes.
or you know, just the best representation of a master. And so a lot of serious artists trying to get those prizes.
You know, the one thing I kept getting was, like one of the ladies who was working next to me, she was doing a piece, and she was like, because everybody kept saying, "Oh, that looked like that Picasso stuff. That looked like that Picasso stuff from my piece." And I listened to it all week, and I listened to it often. She was like, "It'll be funny if you want best duplication of a master." I was like, "Oh, that really would be funny," because these brains created it. So I mean, it would be nice if I could say, "Yeah, I reduplicated it," but yeah, that's what goes on in here.
Yeah, I think that I heard that story from you, and people just have to find labels.
Yeah.
Like, what are they all about? And to sum it up in just a few words. So if you say Picasso, then okay, that's what that. I guess I would be like a Monet.
Yes.
Very impressionistic. And do you have your other painting? So this is kind of like the style that you showed for the Chalk Festival.
Yeah.
It'll come around.
Okay.
But I really love your colors on that. At the Chalk Festival, it was all in black and white, right?
Yeah.
That's even more challenging.
Right.
So.
And then, one of the things, I think like, improv or adaptation, that's what I had to do there.
Right.
I really was not prepared for it. I just knew that I had an image. I wanted to do this piece to bring something different because I knew everybody was going to do like portraitures or, something of that nature. And I just wanted to bring my creativity. Right. I had this drawing. Eventually, I will paint it on the canvas. And I was just like, you know what? Let's use this one. So I get there. They give us the free chalk, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, that's as far as I was prepared. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, snap. I'm like, I get a choice of color palette or black and white palette. Well, I ran through the black and white palette really fast, not knowing about the medium and how the usage of it was. Right. So after the first day, I put my lines down. I was like, okay, cool. Put the lines down.
So okay, because I've gone to these before, but usually they don't give you a choice. Mm-hmm. They don't say, black and white or your color. They always just give you color.
Yeah.
So you took the black and white.
Yes.
Okay.
Because then I was like, okay, maybe I could run around for the hobby shops out here and then go purchase up all the chalk that I need. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? All this black and white looks good for my first attempt. I'll give it an far as, all artists has like, I believe have a little bit of perfectionist in them.
Yeah.
And so my brain was telling me, okay, but I think you could do better than this. So I went foraging for chalk everywhere, and I met some cool people there. They're like, oh, here's some chalk. So I made do until like Sunday afternoon. I stopped at like 5:30. I went to the store and just bought hordes of chalk. So I was just like,
oh, wow.
So I was able to finish. Then someone was telling me, this black and white is really strong. We need something to break this up. So I added green to it. I wish I had pictures that, that could show everybody, but yeah.
So I think actually if you go to Reno, Chalk Art and Music Festival. They have a lot of
Okay.
pictures, so you can guys can go on the website and look that up. But if you'd like to do other ones, every year they have, actually this weekend they have one in Sacramento called Chalk It Up.
Okay.
And next year they're going to start it up back up again. They're doing one in San Rafael, in downtown San Rafael. They also do one, I think, in Santa Barbara.
Okay.
So I'm going to try a few of those ones upcoming.
Keep me in the loop of that. I was told to practice for the next event in Reno. So eventually I will be able to slow down and then get somewhere and start smudging it up. I have a lot of things planned to finish out this year how I planned it, and it's just I have to be like a horse on the track with the blinds on to just stay focused and keep running to be able to finish this year out. So, but the book is done. It's giving me the opportunity.
Okay, so to the book.
Oh, the book.
The book. So why don't you show? Is this the cover of the book? Or?
Yeah, this will be the cover of the book, and this guy is Redbone, and the name of the children's book will be called The Adventures of Redbone. Yeah, so it's something I've been working on for, at least maybe 3 or 4 years, and then within the last year and a half, I was really able to just really dig in deep and just come up with, finish the illustrations, finish the story, just a lot of stuff that needed. And then at the same time, I was doing art shows and stuff like this and still trying to paint. So it's just like, and a 9 to 5. So
and you commute over to the Bay Area for work?
Yeah. So I still go back to the Bay Area for work, and that's how I find out about shows there. I have a lot of friends and family and people there that, throw bones my way per se. So yeah.
So that can really take a lot of time. Now, where you commute to?
I commute to Fairfield, but then eventually, because I'm a driver, I end up driving to Marin, where I have to do my route. So yeah.
Because my husband works in Marin on Lucas Valley Road, over at the juvenile hall.
Okay.
So that's a long commute back and forth there.
It is. It could a lot of wear and tear on your body.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. So he usually doesn't get home till like 9 at night. Yeah.
That's. Ooh.
So you usually do your art like during the weekends, or?
The weekend is normally, and I hate to be a weekend warrior, I really do, but the thing about kind of like everything came together because I put it all in the sketchbook. So so far I have almost like another maybe year and a half worth of artwork to do that's out of the sketchbook, and so on the weekend it's just giving me the opportunity to get as much work as possible. Sometimes I'm working on 1 or 2 paintings at a time, and then because like with the geometric abstract paintings that I do, it takes like longer than it takes to do anything because all the color blending and everything has to be as good as perfect as I can possibly make it. And so, I'll put paintings in between times and squeeze them in to finish them and so forth, but the weekends is definitely, that's my party.
So how did you get interested in art? What drew you to art in the first place?
I don't know. I think as a kid, I think I was already or always a thinker or a creative. I don't even know if it's creative, but just a thinker maybe. Because as a little kid, I was quiet and shy. And I guess that left me with a lot of alone time to myself, and just, drawing was something that I guess that pulled me to, because I know as long as I can remember, like elementary school, as early as like probably 6 or 7 years old, I've been scratching, cross-hatching, trying to figure that out with drawing. And so it's just led me to this point after, maybe I think like 10 years ago, maybe. I was just like, you know what? Everything evolves. You've been drawing for a long time. So let's try to transition into something else. I mean, there's something past drawing, so let's go into that direction. And paintbrush and canvas has been it. Now chalk. So yeah.
So, did you take any art in school? Or?
I did take a few college courses here and there. In high school, mainly, where I got most of my education for art, the basics, the fundamentals, how to apply. And then in college, I learned, the freeness of art. That's when I really appreciated it. Because, in high school, I had an art teacher who was kind of like to the T as to how things should be. Oh, it should look exactly like this.
Sure.
And it kind of like drove me away from art. And this is something I've been doing since I was a kid. And in college, I learned that over everything, it's an expression. And it's not something that, I look at more so than what I feel. So my art pretty much comes from where I feel. I mean, yeah, I can see something, but how it comes out is definitely from here in my head. You know what I mean? So that's one of those things. But yeah, theory, learned a lot about that in college, and freeness, appreciated that.
So it's like you learn the rules, so then you can break the rules.
That's what they say.
You decide when to break the rules.
Right. That's what they say. And so far, I think it's working because a lot of people can see that I understand, the principles,
Sure.
which is a good thing, I guess, as an artist. If you want to go pro or be pro or be seen as a great artist eventually, that you have to show that you know these rules. Then
there you go. So what are your favorite subjects? What do you enjoy?
painting wise, well, anything art related. But me, I personally gravitate towards geometric shape and abstract. A pinch of my work has a taste of surrealism. Because I like to also paint about social issues as well. I feel like, as an artist, if I do not try to capture a moment like the old paintings on the wall or the hieroglyphics, if I don't capture a moment to maybe leave a mark or a reminder as to how it used to be, hopefully how it used to be, and it won't still be the same, then I'll be really doing my job and doing the service to society. So I love to paint social issues, and that tends to bear the surrealist side of me. But for the most part, it's that wild rebel in me that wants to be geometric abstract. And I want to make you think. I want to make you think. I don't think nothing is cut and clear. Life isn't cut clear. And perception is everything. And I make my artwork where it's what you see, your perception.
So what about your book? What led you to write that?
It's basically for the kids. I mean, I want to write for children, just like part of me, I paint for children. How I grew up in Richmond, single mother, some kids may feel that, this isn't right or my life isn't right, and art, just like for me, may be something that may help them balance it out. And with this book, raising my own kids and, helping them with reading and early education, is kind of like reading is definitely a key to everything. Yes, math is probably the best subject to know because everything pertains to math. But if you get the math book and you can read what it's saying and understand, then my 16-year-old daughter does her own geometry without any help because of
you got those word problems you got to figure out.
Right. And it starts with English, and I feel like with children, reading, it has to be fun. It has to be able to keep them captivated for them to want to be interested in wanting to read and wanting to read more. So
yeah, and I really enjoyed your little book that some of it was fun, but it also had some lessons to it.
Yes.
So what is there? Can you share more about the story, or
Okay.
the moral of the story? Or?
Okay. Redbone is a little mixed kid, and the character, I snatched it from my great grandfather, who's a Creole mulatto, and he had a rusty hair, green eyes, and freckles, and so that's the image Redbone took. And someone in the black culture that is of mulatto descent or mulatto in culture, they're pretty much looked at as a red bone. So this is also for the red bones. Well, with the story it's more so I want to do something fun for the children, something, like I said, to keep them wanting to read, but at the same time, there are a lot of issues.
Right.
You know, a lot of children, because of their differences, or maybe getting teased and so forth because of the differences, they can't adjust or don't know how to hold on to it and stay focused into what they're doing because of what's going on outside of it. And I think hazing and teasing and bullying is one of those things that's probably the biggest, peer pressure as well. And so I figured with Redbone being so unique, you know, a little black kid with green eyes, red hair, and freckles, you know, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? And a lot of people want to point and be like, hey, well, in school, he has this little guy named Timmy who's one of those kind of kids, you know, and children, they're free speaking and a lot of times don't know what they're really saying when they say it. But Timmy made Redbone feel a certain kind of way about his appearance and who he was. And so in one episode of the story, Redbone is digging up worms for his mother in the backyard. I mean, his grandmother for worms to go fishing in the backyard. And he had a bright idea while talking to his buddy, like, hey, I'm going to put this mud on my face to cover up my freckles and see if this, you know, if I can slide by with this at school or whatnot. So I don't have to get teased or bullied. We could go to some normal stuff. And, you know, his best friend busted him out. And then his grandma was like, hey, no, we're not having that. So, you know, I really wanted to get a good positive story, and bullying is one of those things because how we treat people in the now, you never know in the later if that person is going to be someone that's going to help you or could help you.
Right.
You know, so it's how we treat people, and basically that would be the overall story of the book is how we help people, because ultimately, and I'm just going to give the end away, Redbone and his friend and his grandmother saved the little boy who was the bully in the class.
Right.
So
I really like that. That was a highlight. So you said that because I enjoyed the grandmother. You may do some more stories with her.
yeah, Nana Rose. Yeah, her character is so strong that it's almost like it wouldn't do no service to just let her stay in the book with Redbone. Yeah. I think because of who she is and the wisdom that an older person can bring to the youth, I think a lot of lessons can be learned from her as growing up. You know, you have your great grandparents to teach you a lot of different things about life in itself. It's the same scenario.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'll be pretty good. She's a strong character and funny.
Sounds good. Let's see these other characters here.
Yeah, so this would be Redbone.
There we go.
This is the father, Gabriel, the mother, Sage, and this is good old Nana Rose.
All right.
Who loves chewing banana bubble gum.
That was funny. So you mentioned some other projects, some things that you're going to work on through the end of the year. What
Yes.
else do you got?
Well, to finish out 2019, I want to paint more. I have a number in my head to finish possibly 6 more paintings by the end of the year. So wish me good luck with that. And then going into the new year, I've decided that I want to do LA art show. I want to go down south and go to LA and show some of my work off there. I have plans to get a website started. And then paint some more. I don't know how many shows I'm gonna do next year. This year, I think I did like 5 or 6. Next year, I might try to do 5 or 6 and just continue to produce and finish on like the website, finish getting that put together, maybe possibly start working on the second book, the second Adventure of Redbone. So
where we were talking about where you were going to get this published. Have
Yes.
you looked into that? Or?
As of right now, I have not. I'm at some point where I'm doing like a little research and development because I definitely want to put out the best possible book I can. You know, if there's any flaws or anything wrong with it, I want people to be able to, trusted people to be able to let me know I could take the criticism, just only to make a better product. So eventually, then I'll start shopping. I know Mr. Mills said something about some publishing. You mentioned a publishing company here.
Yeah.
So, and then I have a couple family members in Georgia area. So, definitely want to explore any and all avenues. But definitely, I know I don't want to do. I don't want to do.
The self-publishing.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It's
So
too much more work.
Yeah, we got Tuliberg Press.
Uh-huh.
So I think you could probably go ahead and submit it,
Okay.
and then they can tell you, if they're interested or not. So-
Okay.
and they're right here in Stockton,
Okay.
so you can go onto their website.
Tuliper, huh? I'm gonna get that information for you before I leave. Might have to see those good people over at Tulipers. I really think it's gonna be something big. I really do. And I think like with the second book to follow, the third book, I think it'll really be good.
Have you been? Just looking at the characters, have you been to Mr. Otto's bookstore?
Oh no,
So it's right here on the Miracle Mile.
is that right?
Just towards the end of the Miracle Mile up by Castle.
Uh-huh.
And they're a specialty children's bookstore.
Okay.
So, once you got it published, maybe you could set up a little book reading or, some kind of thing like that.
Oh, set me up to do my Nana Rose voice.
Yes.
Huh? That would be funny in itself.
But you could make some little puppets like that and do a little puppet show.
Man, now that would be funny. I don't know if kids will pay attention to the book. They're too busy looking at me.
So when you say you want to do these paintings and then be in some art shows, so you just paint whatever comes to mind, or
I think I know for a fact mostly everything that I see or lived or have experienced is definitely the muse for what I paint. My creativity isn't just about make that up.
Yeah.
No, it has a nature to it.
Because I was just wondering, like, I usually would hear about an art show, say like the misogyny one, and so I want to be in that. I'll do something for that. So would you hear about something before you would do the? So you do the painting
I
first.
do the paintings, and like I said, most of my paintings derive from some type of issue, and there are a lot of issues. There are a lot of issues. And I cover, like I said, with a lot of my artwork, I cover a lot of issues. I don't want to paint anything that I would feel that doesn't have a substance where you can't feel it. Outside of it being pretty or, the use of color,
Right.
I really want it to have a meaning. And, I saw, a documentary and was saying how, old war art is shown these days, the realism or the realist, and it only stimulates the brain 3 minutes. That's almost like, ooh, look at that. That looks just like, and then it's gone.
Right.
You step in one in front of one of my paintings. You gonna be sitting up there like,
Now, what is that?
right,
Oh, what could that be?
right,
Oh, look, that looks like this.
right,
Oh, now let's talk about that.
right. And so, and I think that in itself is doing what it's supposed to do, because if brain cells are firing or neurons are firing, and people are thinking, possibly talking, what is that? I mean, you're really trying to process and decipher something.
Right.
You're trying to come with a conclusion as to what that is, or what your perception telling you it is. And I think that's what art should do. I mean, another thing it should do. I mean, yes, it should represent a culture. Yes, it should leave a message. But at the same time as well, I think that it should make people think. It should capture a feeling like your favorite love song. You know, if you're mad, that song that you listen to just help you settle it out, or that song that picks you up. I think paintings should do the same thing. No, I guarantee you look at one of my paintings in the dark and you look in the daytime, it's totally different. You're going to be like, I see something different. And
So do you have some more? These are all from your book? Or?
yeah, these are all pages from the book. I captured quite a few pages. This is the opening page. This is Nana Sage sitting in her rocking chair calling for Redbone. Redbone digging up worms with his best friend Lil Mo and his dog Jim Jim.
Yeah, I like the little dog.
Yeah,
That's nice.
you know, it's a word or terminology I got from my grandfather, who was a character in himself. Any dog that was a mixed breed, he called it a summer dog. And that's because it's mixed with some of this and mixed with some of that.
There we
And
go.
mixed with some. So that's where we got that from. So we made Jim Jim a summer dog.
That's cute.
This is where Redbone come up with the idea after throwing the mud ball.
Mud. Yep.
He hit his friend supposing to the pup. And then it was the bright idea clicked in like, oh, let me put some of that on my face. And he tries to go back into the house. And
Yeah.
his grandmother catch him.
Couldn't fool the grandmother.
No. And not grandmothers for nothing. And then his friend trying to run out the house because he had got permission to see if he can get permission to go fishing. And so he ran through the screen. He forgot to open the door, so he
That
ran
was
through the
funny.
door. So I wanted to make, like I said, I wanted to make the book funny and memorable. You know, I feel like if a kid or child reads it once, okay, that's a good thing. But if they like it enough to read it a second or a third time, you know, then that's something big. And ultimately, it's to get the message. And if you read it 3, 4, 5 times, and if it's because it's funny the first time, you miss the message. You read it the second time, then you start to pick up on it. Then the third or fourth time you get it, then, you know, it's kind of like my paintings. It's kind of like, oh, now I get it. You know, so yeah.
So would you say, like, one of my favorite things is healing art. Would you say some of your work is healing art, or?
I believe that it can be, because how I feel about art, it's not so much as what it looks like. You know, I'm a firm believer in it's a human's attempt to take something inanimate and turn it animate, where you could either, where it moves, where it talks to you, where you feel it. And as far as I'm concerned, anybody can be an artist. It's how much dedication and time you put into it. You know, for those who out there that paint or draw or whatever they do, and they sitting up here and worrying about what someone else's perception of what they expressed, you know, it don't go together, because how you feel, someone else feels differently. So, and it's the same as with art. So yeah, I believe that my artwork and any artwork can be healing.
So you really need to just do it for yourself and share it with others, and whatever they get out of it, they get out of it.
Main reason I paint, it helps me alleviate a lot of stuff that's in my head and a lot of things that I've thought about. But it's also a plus if it touches someone else. You know, because some people do think on the same wave and have experienced the same thing. So for someone to hear a love song or see a painting that's like, whoa, it's like that painting is talking to me or that song is singing to me. It's the same thing, same concept.
So you said about L.A. What do you remember what the show is? Or
It's called the LA Art Show. Just plain and simple.
where is it? Or?
It's going to be held in Florence this year, I believe, off of Florence Avenue or something like that. And I learned about it last year, but it was too late to add a submission or put in a submission. So all year I've been like hunting LA Art Show. So it's like everything that I'm doing, it's like when my brain is running, it's almost like it's burning rubber. I think of all these different things, and I'm just trying to put everything into play and position. I mean, like, I live here in Stockton and love Stockton. And I probably will stay here in Stockton, providing I can find me a nice workspace, you know. And it's not a gallery. I need a workspace where I could do, because I weld as well.
Okay, I got one.
Do you?
They're going to be opening the Hatch workshop makerspace. It's on Aurora. It's 1 block east of the railroad tracks in downtown.
Okay.
And they got a big warehouse space, and they have room like for ceramics and for I think one of the things is a welding thing, and
That's funny.
They're trying to find people to be members of this space.
Okay.
And then you get to use their equipment, and like a metal shop and wood shop and all this stuff. So.
See how I'm finding this out?
All right.
That's how I find out about a lot of other shows. And I think it's very crucial that for artists to network and meet other artists.
Sure.
One, because we all think similar. Our brains function the same way. You know what I mean? It's like our creativity is way different than anyone else's. And it's not to saying that anybody else isn't nobody, but artists are a little different.
Yeah.
So
It's good to see you. Most artists aren't concerned with the business part of it, but I think you have a good mix between that.
well, I mean, I could only try because the art is really what I paint for. I don't really paint like I'm out to make money, because I'll put out money and go to shows just to show.
Yeah.
You know,
So about the LA one, what drew you to that one?
a bigger market,
Okay.
just a bigger market, a bigger place to show my artwork. I'm not talking about selling anything. Just want to show, like, just to like the little kid is just like, hey world.
Well, a lot of people talk about the what's going on over in Oakland.
Excuse me.
I forget what it's called, but I think it's First Friday or, but they, have block after block after block of artists showing their work. So.
I have a few friends that do shows at First Friday. It was the First Friday, right?
I'm not sure if it's first or second.
Yeah, but I have a few friends who I've done shows with in the Bay Area who do those events like regularly.
Uh-huh.
And I just, I feel like, far as me, I just need to move around.
Right.
To do those shows often is one thing, but it's kind of like it puts more pressure on me as an artist, because then I can't possibly go to these same events showing the same artwork. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is the dilemma for
Right.
a lot of artists.
And that's the main reason why I don't sell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be under any pressure, when I'm doing something that's supposed to be free, and feel like I'm confined by pressure, or will somebody like it well enough where they'll be like, you have 15 more, you have 20 more, then you're like,
Yeah.
then the pressure's on. No. So I'm going to control it. Like control, burn.
Yeah, so you can do the, one of a kinds.
Right.
It doesn't have to be mass produced.
Right.
And I'd like to see you come. We have 2 more events this year. The Art Splash, September 13th and the last one is October 11th. And that October 11th is also starting Stockton Arts Week. So you have like 10 days of art activities in Stockton. So if you'd like to show at either one of those.
Now, what was the first one? Art Splash?
Yeah.
That sounds more to my liking because it's near my birthday. September 28th is my birthday. But yeah.
So that it's a downtown Stockton art walk. So we have about 5 venues and people show their art. So.
Okay. I have to give me a tent. That's what I have to do. I have to get a tent to hang my stuff up. That's one of those things where I get you a tent, and then it's hot here, so I want to get out here and get blistered.
So, but if you usually we're indoors.
Oh, okay.
Inside a building, and we supply the display racks, and then you put your art up.
Oh, I'm game.
And then you can stay with the work and talk to the people that come in. And,
okay, I'm game. I'm working on a piece right now that's pretty big. And I think it's a social issue piece. It's called Flooded, and it's definitely a piece that I've been wanting to paint for quite some time. Because I've done like maybe 2 paintings last year that were social issue pieces, and I think that I actually love to paint the social issue pieces because it's the part of me where I think that society needs a lot of help, or we need a lot of help.
Right.
And the visuals are there. We don't talk about it. We don't have to talk about it.
So when you're saying flooded, so it's the whole water flooding issue?
What it depicts is like in certain urban areas how the gun violence is astronomical across the country. And it depicts guns raining from out of the sky like water would, and hence the name Flooded. Okay. So it's definitely, urban areas are beautiful places. Most of our arts and galleries are in these beautiful places, and, it's outshined by the negative once again. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, when I came to Stockton and people would, start talking about Stockton, I said, well, I'm used to that kind of thing because I lived in Richmond.
Right.
So, yeah, nothing new here.
Right. Richmond will prepare you to live anywhere. I can guarantee. Yeah, that's definitely. And Stockton is one of those places as well. If you live in Stockton, or have lived in Stockton, or was raised in Stockton, seeing some of the things that you see here, you're going to see anywhere else in this country, and the kind of upbringing that you receive where you're from can transition, because everybody changed in certain parts of their lives, and you can go to Milwaukee and still feel that because I survived in Stockton or Richmond, I can go to Milwaukee. Sure. It's a little cold, but I can go to Milwaukee and thrive.
Right.
So I definitely think like cities like this are beautiful places, and people just don't look at that beautiful side. They want to see, just the negative. Okay.
So that's why we're here. We're showing them all the beautiful side too.
Right.
So.
And that's I want to thank you guys here at the station for even putting, this type of forum up. And I wish you continued success with it because you're bringing a lot to the community and you're helping the city as well.
So I think we got to wrap it up, but it's been a wonderful interview, and I hope to see you at the next Art Splash.
September, correct?
Yeah, September 13th.
September 13th, okay.
And I'll give you more information about Hatch so you can stay in Stockton.
Please do. Because, I want to get into welding because those geometric shapes and welding look pretty nice. But definitely, I'm thinking about the Art Splash, definitely, because I figured one more show. I found one in Richmond, and I said I wasn't going to do any more shows, but to be able to go home and show my artwork.
Sure.
Son come home, shows, look what I did, Mom. That'll be beautiful. But, all right, Stockton, I got you, Stockton.
All right. You heard it here, and we'll see you next time on Behind the Art Scene.